All right, here we are with our first group coaching kind of practice session, I guess, for Forest Fairy Training School. So y'all get to be my
Yay.
inaugural, play fairies together, and we'll get to play in this dream making space. I'm so excited to play in this space today and to share, a little bit about my embodied sense of like what it takes or what how dreams do come to earth in at least in my life, and to hear about how y'all have experienced it too, um, and hopefully to create some new ones together today and see what which ones might be ready to come to earth soon for each of us. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the framework
Yay.
I have in mind for
Yeah, perfect.
yeah, yeah. So maybe we can just start with some little bit of movement and breath work just to close eyes and kind of give ourselves a chance to land. Um, so yeah, if you want to get to a place where you can maybe move a little bit, you can even probably do it seated, but I just want to give us a few minutes to move and breathe and come into our bodies. I know I'm like kind of nervous about doing this today because it feels like a big thing. So I'm wanting to just like let my own energy settle with you all.
Yay.
So yeah, take a few breaths. Ah, let your body wiggle or move. Hmm.
Hmm.
An invitation to use your hands on your body somewhere to give yourself some touch that feels good, maybe on your belly or your face, or wanting to just grab my ass a little bit this morning. And, ah, yeah. Yeah, as we're settling in, use this as an opportunity to set down all the other things that we're carrying. A lot of times when we come into this, like keeping track of all the things of life, right? Things that we're tracking. So, invitation to just set those things down. Maybe you even want to find a gesture to, that's what I'm kind of doing, like gesticulating the setting things down, laying them aside, shaking them out. Ah, ah, ah. Just letting ourselves be really present for these next couple hours that we get to spend together. Hmm. Ah, yeah. Mhm. So I would love to start by sharing a few thoughts about this dream coming true process. And then I'll share more thoughts later, but I'm just going to do a little kind of initial round. Um, and then I thought we could go back and forth and name some things that have happened already in our lives that feel very dreamy. The things that, kind of, I'd love to name a few of those pinch yourself moments, where it's like, wow, that really happened to me. I had that experience. And to let ourselves begin to feel those sensations in our body of what it feels like when dreams come true and to kind of begin to tune into that frequency of
Mm-hmm.
things actually do come to Earth that we didn't know before were possible, but that may have been in the etheric realm and that
Mm-hmm.
happened to bring it to reality. So that, because that's really where I want to go first, is playing with the the feeling that, the ones that have happened, and then also tuning into the ones that we want to happen, and letting, or that we're open to having happen, and letting those two feelings sort of find each other, so that just getting more comfortable with what it feels like when we're pushing into those realms that we weren't really sure was possible before. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, we're at a new place of this new thing that has come into our.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's what I'm wanting to play with. So I'll start by just naming a couple of things that have really been alive for me. And these things specifically are part of the erotic, like they have an eros to them. They have a sense of sensuality, um, and it's there's a real sense of pleasure to them. So I want to specifically highlight that and invite y'all, as you're kind of sifting through your life experiences, to maybe tune into ones that have an erotic quality for you too. They don't have to. Um, but I think that, y'all know that I work with erotic energy a lot as spiritual and as magical energy. And so the more we can, like, that's really the energy that I think helps us to weave between the realms, like weave into, what has already happened and what might happen and what's happening right now. It's like it is erotic energy does make that. I don't know. I'm making this like sign. Maybe I didn't mean. I don't
Beautiful.
started happening organically, but that's how it lives in me. Is this
Mm-hmm.
like this weaving through these different timelines?
Mm.
Yeah. So um, I'll share one, and then maybe pass it to y'all to name one, and then we can do like a couple rounds just to get ourselves juiced up and thinking of, or feeling it. I'm using that word thinking, but I really want it to be more of an embodied sense of things that just kind of come from your body, um, that are bubbling up, that you've already experienced, that have felt yummy for you, and kind of have that dreamy, pinch yourself sort of quality. So the first one that comes to mind is last summer when I was at a this lake near here in Asheville, and we were. This was a moonlight swim that happened across the lake, with three beloveds of mine. Two of them were on a paddleboard, and I was swimming with another beloved behind the paddleboard. We were towing a raft behind the paddleboard because we were bringing all of these supplies across the lake to set up for a medicine journey that we were doing the next morning. Um, so it was just really like a supply run, or like a setup run across the
Oh,
lake.
cool.
Chose to do it in the middle, or by moonlight, because by the time we made the decision to do it, it was dark, and we're like, let's do it anyway. Um, and there was such magic about this, and it was really a pinch yourself moment for me, because
Mm.
I felt incredibly erotically attracted. Two of them were already my lovers. One would eventually become a lover of mine, but I didn't know that at the time. But I felt very attracted to these three people. So like that pinch yourself thing was there, of like, how do I get to have these three like incredibly hot, they all happen to be men, humans, and I get to, and we had this beautiful sense of purpose of, like, swimming across the lake. So it felt this like, this epic. journey was part of it.
Mm.
The sense of purpose. So there was the sense of purpose. There was the water on my body, being naked in the water, um, my lover swimming next to me and just feeling like the water move as he moved, um, warmness of the air. Um, yeah. So that I think that's one of my pinch myself moments. And it wasn't
Mm.
anything that I ever would have envisioned before. It's not like I could have um
Mm-hmm.
it's not like I could have described that before it happened, but as the experience was happening and just the whole that time my life was unfolding, I realized how incredibly satisfying and delicious it was. So there's one of mine. Would one of you be up for sharing
Thank you.
yourself moment?
Yes, thank you. Gosh, I have so many.
Right? I know it can be hard to pick, but don't worry. Just
Mm.
first one that bubbles up. Yeah.
Okay, well, this is not the first one that bubbled up, actually, but I think listening to you, this kind of came up.
Right.
Um, when I lived in Michigan, this was a long time ago, 20 years ago, um, a lot of the high folks, people who experienced, the high workshops, um, wanted more like you do. And we started having what we called touch parties. And like, so that pinch yourself moment, it's like lying in a room full of people, some of whom you know really well, some of whom you don't know all that well, but all of whom you like, lying around, naked with each other, feeling the freedom to express ourselves, erotically or otherwise, whatever's present, and just having that moment of like, this is available now in this moment, and many people never get to this room. I mean, there are probably people who wouldn't even enjoy that, wouldn't even find that a positive experience. But for me, it's just like this is just heaven, and here I am in it,
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So so that's the first one that's on the top of the stack. I think I have a whole bunch more.
Beautiful. Is there maybe um so if you could choose like just one or two words to name the feeling that you had inside while it was happening, you choose a word or two. I can suggest some if you want,
Yeah, well, obviously very lucky, but also I'm not sure what the word is, but like I had taken steps to get this to happen, and it had paid off. I not only tried it, but it actually worked.
yeah.
And so just accomplishing something really important for me successfully, whatever that feeling is. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. I feel that. I can feel it right now. That like blend of I even wanted to talk.
Look.
Well, I was thinking about this from the point of view of we talk about making dreams come true, and also there's just like allowing dreams to come
Mm.
true.
When
I think we do some of both, right? Like we have to show up
it
and
works, we do. Right.
like
Right.
eat. There are
Mm-hmm.
actions that need to happen and steps we need
Mm-hmm.
to take, and so
Mm-hmm.
I think
But we can't literally make it without the allowing
yeah,
part.
they,
Yes.
they both need to be.
Yes.
Yeah, love that. Thank you.
Thank
Yummy.
you.
Yeah, Susan, you got one for us?
Um, well, I've been to Harbin a few times. I haven't done any of the workshops or anything like that because of just my journey, but it was just a moment of lying naked in the sun around the pool, and it was just a beautiful day, and it was like the perfect weather for just allowing, bodies in the water. And it just felt a little taste of freedom, of just being able to rest in the sun naked, which is what I love to do. And no, yeah, it was just, I felt a sense of freedom and peacefulness that was just being in my body, lying in the sun, nothing really eccentric or whatever. It was just, uh, it's just the quiet, soft place of Yoni worshiping sun.
Yum, yum. Oh, I so feel that, and I can so celebrate that with you.
I was yesterday, it's 60 degrees here in California, or 55 or something, 60. So yesterday because I'm in the middle of a pain cycle, and yesterday I was just lying in the sun on a little, throw with my dog. And it was just like, this is really just my body felt really nourished and supported, just allowing myself to rest on the ground in the sun
Mm,
with nothing. So,
mm, yeah, yum. Yeah, I so thank you. I so feel like in all of our shares now, I'm just sort of letting all of there's a resonance that like
mm,
they all shared. And this is what I was really hoping would happen on this call was that, we would just co-create this like shared knowing and vibration of like
mm,
what it feels like to be in that realm, to allow our bodies to kind of inhabit that frequency,
mm.
not
Yeah.
just here and there, but like to really like give ourselves over to it so that we're
Mm,
living from that point of view. And it's not, of course, it's not going to be consistent and it's always going to be a little wobbly or whatever, but there is this steadiness to it
yeah.
that I think we can support each other in coming back to. So
Mm,
as I hear you all with your shares, it just really reinforces that in my body. I was going to do another round, but I feel like those were very powerful shares. I don't know if we need to. I think what I want to do now is actually give you all a chance to journal about things, to just like free write and to dream into other. Actually, no, before we do that, I do want to name. Okay, let's do this next. I wanted to go into the journaling, but I want to seed the field first with a couple of like future ones that we might want to happen. And then we'll turn it over for journaling to kind of keep playing with that vibration of letting this go into the future. So, so I just want to name a couple. I call these my North Star dreams, like these
mm,
that are sort of like pulling me forward. And they're funny because they're not like neither these ones I'm about to tell you. Well, you'll see, they're not like some huge. They're not huge. They're relatively like um, attainable, but they're specific, and there's some way that my body responds when I visualize and just like let myself have these things, um, that I think it like lands, it's like part of my soul, like pulling me forward or
mm.
calling me back or something like that. Um, so I just wanted to name a few. And if you all want to name some before we journal too, then that's great. If there are ones that come to mind just to like make it the soup a little richer, before we go off into dreamland, into, dreamy journaling. Um, so one that is like feeling super juicy for me, is well, okay, let's just name the big one, which is Forest Fairy Training School. Like, just that we're doing this is like a huge one for me. Um, and really, it's this sense of just wanting to have a small group of people to come back to practice with, like to really be in this together with regularly with a thread of being with each other and knowing each other and supporting each other to do exactly what we're talking about, like take these dreams and bringing them into reality, because what else is more fun? Like making dreams real is like the funnest thing ever. uh,
Mm,
so being
yes.
able to support each other in doing this is definitely a dream. um,
Mm,
then two other, like, just, yeah, small but really visceral ones for me is this being able to walk or bike through the woods to get to work. And it's
mm,
funny, Susan, that you're here, because last time I had this was when I was out in California. Get
uh-huh.
to ride from
Mm-hmm.
Lauren's place to work
Mm-hmm.
to work to do sessions in town through the along the canal or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
magical.
Yep. Yep.
I have a dream of that happening here in Asheville. Um, and that, like, being able to walk through the woods to work is really pulling. Um,
Mm,
and then another one is during this Forest Fairy Festival that we're planning at the end of May. Um, I have this vision of us having everyone has a little like mailbox, and we get to write each other handwritten notes, like little love notes, like we used to have in elementary school, where you'd like
oh,
send
I love that.
Valentine's and stuff. So I'm so excited about these like handwritten fairy love notes that we're gonna do at the festival. And it's a tiny thing, but it's like I'll do
No,
this
it's so
whole
big.
festival just to make that happen. Because I just like it feels so like it just needs to happen. I just want it. It feels so like, because it's a pinch me kind of moment. Like, could we really do that? Like, is that really possible? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, we can do that. So,
I still do that.
right? Like,
I do.
yeah, the handwritten love notes are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So those are a couple that are really pulling me forward right now. And I'd love if y'all want to name a couple before we do this. I was also, as I was preparing for this, I just want to name something about money, because so often, you know, when we think about dreams coming true or, actualizing things in real life, money comes up, right? Because it's like part of it's just part of making dreams come true, is that we often need money. Um,
Mm,
and I was really feeling into it before this call, and I was like, wow, like money does not actually have a dreamy energy for me. Money has a powerful energy. And I think it's definitely one, like in Forest Fairy Training School, like we're going to work with money because it's a very potent thing. But it's not dreamy. It doesn't have that like soft energy of like what's real and what's not. It's like, because it is so embodied. So I was like
hmm.
thinking into like, oh, there's like a certain thing that happens when you like look at your bank balance, and what if it was like, a couple of decimal points over, and you had that experience of being like, wow, my bank balance is so big or so small, or whatever it is. Um, but for me, that really comes out of the dreamy energy. So I just wanted to
Mm,
acknowledge that, because I was like, oh, that's interesting to notice.
hmm.
And I feel like money in my life right now is at a more like settled, like I have a very peaceful like relationship with it at the moment. Um, yeah, so that's a whole other conversation and call, I think. But I just want to,
Mm.
yeah, and we could weave it in, but it's like it's a yeah, it just has a different energy. Anyway, so there's some dreamy things. Do y'all feel like you've got some that you wanna seed the field with before we do a little dreaming and journaling? Yeah, Susan's shaking. Do you want to go first?
No, I don't have an attachment. I'm resonating with what all that you're saying.
Yeah, right. Well, go ahead. Yeah, if you got anything that's bubbling up, go ahead and. Yeah.
Um, so the part of the studies that I was doing around the name kind of thing were very interesting because it was all about this collective conscious agreement around what we call money, right? And how this relates to Forest Fairy Training School is that, like, I hadn't thought about it in this context, but how riverbanks store the currency and the flow the of the waters. And now
Mm,
we have this physical representation of these banks that we go into to get our currency. And which I find in my part of me resists because I'm like, and this is part of my dream, Sarah, is that our collective agreement is the embodiment of this currency, the life force intelligence that's, in my body, and for me to really embody that currency, because when I'm connected to that and not externalizing these things, the magic really does happen. So, but I get into scarcity mindset and all the bullshit programming that we've gotten into. So my dream is to really embody being the currency, um, in a full way. And for me, that looks like writing. I mean, I'm in the corporate world, Sarah, you know that, and I write love notes to my clients all the time. In fact, I wrote one to the CEO of my company, and somehow he wrote me one back, and I was like, this is so cool. And I got in trouble though because um it was just like a heart over the Golden Gate Bridge, and in my mind it was, I left my heart in San Francisco and people were coming to San Francisco. So I was like, come back to love. And, like writing all these little notes to people. And some people were like, why is this woman, Susan from San Francisco, sending you a love note? What are you doing? So I love all that. And I love making other people's dreams come true as well.
great. Yes, thank you for saying that. Yeah, I want
Yes.
to bring that up. That's part of what I want to touch on today is that I think one way to really amplify the field, this fairy field that we're,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just about creating our dreams. That's actually how I even got started on this whole thing. Was I realized I just wanted to be a fairy godmother because it was so fun to make other people's dreams come true.
Yep.
And all of a sudden I realized I'm like, oh, but I like making mine come true too. It's like
Right.
it's the same frequency. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Love it. Daniel, you got some for us?
I have like three or four things I want to say, and none of them are what you asked for.
No, go for it. That's fine.
But like, um, I guess the first one is I really need this.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to be here with y'all today.
Yeah.
This is right where I need to be. Um, and just sort of on the side, I will say I love how you just make it up as you go along, Sarah.
Yeah.
That works so well for me. It really does.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
really admire that.
Oh,
Um,
God, I'm glad you do. Sometimes I'm like, oh,
I know. I know.
it's
You
so
yeah,
question it.
great.
I see you questioning it. Just it's fine. It's good.
but it
I
works
like it.
somehow.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It works really well. Um, uh, and the other thing is, in thinking about dreams and thinking about the previous round about um, those moments of oh my gosh, is this a dream or is this real?
Mm.
Not that dreams aren't real. Um, uh, I feel like I'm at the end of a long and beautiful dream. Like when it's time to wake up in the morning, or you are waking up in the morning. You don't want to say goodbye to this
Mm.
dream because it's been so fabulous, so wonderful, and juicy and comfortable. And it's like, yeah, but you're waking up now, so we're going to go back to the waking dream.
Mm.
That's kind of where I am in my life right now. It's like it's time for the new dream to come into being, whatever that means.
Mm.
Um, and so, as you were saying before, there are steps that need to be taken. Um, in order to create that, and that's kind of why. Yes, this me here now. Yes, absolutely. Um, just one more tiny thing. Thinking back over my dream life, which is pretty profound to the degree I can manage to be conscious of it. I can't remember money ever showing up in any context. It's
Mm.
like it's like that startling thing when you wake up and you go, "Oh, that experience I was just having, that was a dream." It seems so real and so normal, even though from the waking perspective, there was nothing normal about it at all. It was like, my waking world, those things could not have happened, but in the dream they were happening, and it seemed totally credible. I was in that world, but there was never any shortage or abundance or consideration of the bank account or money. That whole whatever that thing is just has never shown up in my dreams. That's really interesting discovery, I
Yeah.
think.
Good.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was seeing this morning too. And, my friend Lee just left me, we were trading voice memos or texts or something this morning. And she said something that really resonates with me, that when we are showing up in deep alignment with our soul's purpose, that
Mm.
money isn't an issue anymore. And it really fills up that, like, I mean, that resonates with my experience too. So
Yes.
I'm hoping today that some of the dreams that we might, kind of identify or harvest, or really start to nourish, like that's what I'm hoping is by the end of this
Mm.
fall, we each have, new ones that we're really, not new ones, but like one that we're like, okay, this is the one that I really want to nourish right now, and be sure that my behaviors and my actions are showing up in service of this dream, right? Like that's what we need to do, is really like, that's, in yoga and in tantra we have
Mm.
principle of tapas and spanda. Like tapas is this principle of discipline, of self-discipline, and kind of, I think it means fire actually, but it's that practice of getting ourselves to, like, holding our feet to the flame, or getting ourselves to show up even in moments when it feels crunchy. And our dreams need those moments of discipline, right? um, and so I'm hoping that by the end of this call we can identify the dreams that we really want to use tapas, to use that energy
Mhm.
of discipline to show up for. I mean, this Forest Fairy Training School has been a great one for me, because it's been a big dream, and there's been moments where I'm just like, I just want to give up on this. Is this too big? Like, maybe there's another one that's going to come along. And I'm like, no, like this dream chose me, and I'm going to
Mm.
keep using it, and I'm going to keep showing up. It feels like that's the way I'm dancing with this. Um, Actually, I'll give another example of this. Oh my gosh, this is a funny one. Whew. This is very
Mm.
fresh. Um, my friend George and I recorded each other giving each other erotic massages, not this past summer, but the summer before, with the idea of turning it into this like educational porn video, where it's like not really porn, because I mean, you could call it, I don't know, what's porn, who knows, what do they say, know it when you see it, I don't know. Anyway,
Individual.
I committed when we embarked on this journey that I the whole fun of it for me was being transparent about the process, being transparent about the negotiations
Mm.
beforehand between he and I, being transparent about how the massage actually went, recording the whole thing, capturing the moments of awkwardness, capturing the moments of like unsure of what we're going to do. But what I didn't realize, that the most awkwardness was going to take place after the whole thing is done, because it's like, last night he and I were trying to watch these videos of ourselves and record voiceovers about like what we saw, and it's so viscerally uncomfortable for me. It's bringing up all these body shame issues, and like, of like watching myself on, and I'm like, oh my god, now's the time to be transparent about this and to
Mm.
like, this is where the tapas is coming in with this project of like, if I really want to be true to this dream and this vision that we had together, now I need to like, it's bringing up like me coming out more about my body shame issues, which generally don't really bother me, but like, guess what?
Uh,
They're here.
uh,
So that the tapas has shown up in like a very unexpected way for that one. So, and I'm gonna keep choosing that dream because I really it just feels like it feels like one that still wants to come into fruition, come into this realm of life. All right. Any other? Yeah, Susan, you got something?
I was just breathing with you.
You. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing I really appreciated with you at Lawrence was just that you were so your permission that you gave yourself just to show up with, your yoni, well, whatever. How would you like how do you want her addressed? What is her name?
Yoni Pussy is fine. Her name is actually Honey. I call her Honey.
Honey. Okay. Yeah, you were just like letting Honey her, you know, have her freedom. And it was just so freeing for me because of all the Connecticut, programming and stuff. And so I just really appreciate, everything you just embody and looking forward to being in the group supporting your dreams
Yeah. And yours.
and
All of
my dreams and Daniel's dreams. And
it. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, love.
yeah.
Yeah. Any other yeah, specific ones that y'all want to throw out before we go on a little journey together?
Let's go.
Okay. So I think
Well, can I just say one thing? Have you guys read the Anastasia books? So it's kind of a cultural phenomenon in some circles, but my dream it has been for a while now. Basically like food forest fairy like food forest because friends of mine built this farm called the Be Love Farm, and they took it from a place where a woman had committed suicide, 27 acres, to a place that was absolutely, you could walk through the place and pick from the trees and pick from the ground, and it was absolutely magical, and it was delicious food, and it just so happened in the fires that frequency, the fire came up to their property, burnt like a little bit of the sides, but somehow the frequency was incompatible
wow.
with the fire. If everything's just energy. And what this book outlines are these places around the world that are like your forest berry training program. It's just that for me, it's this embodied aspect of that magical stuff that does happen in nature that is our own true nature.
Mm, mm.
So that's, my dream's a little lofty when like people ask me, I'm like, well, I want this for all children everywhere because my little child, my big inner child that shows up and a lot of times and acts irascible is just wanting to go back to that place where I can sing to the grass and hug the trees and, so
Yeah. Okay, Susan, you're singing to the grass. That's a perfect example of those are the kinds of like I want you all to when as we're journaling, you can totally go into those big ones
yeah,
also. And I want to be sure that you have some of the ones that are more like
yes.
you know what I like
Yes, you
prop
know me well. You
yeah.
know me well. Yes, that's very important because I don't embody that myself. I'm up in my head in the dreamland, but I'm not in my body. So absolutely, yes. Thank you.
Singing to the grass is like that's the one that we need to make a name for you that's about just singing to the grass. It's the grass singer. Yeah,
Ugh.
because I think like that reminder for you of like
Yeah.
how potent it is. I mean, that's like me and my fairy mailboxes. It's like something that's like
Tangible.
like tangible. Yes, where it's like something that you can actually feel. Like this is another thing I learned from running my coffee company over the years, that once I got to the place where my job was telling people, was kind of just really managing, where I wasn't like in there making drinks every day and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I it did I still loved the business, but it didn't have the same, like,
Uh-huh.
I needed to go in there and clean the grease traps every once in a while, or like
Mm-hmm.
do these really tactile, tangible things, because our bodies are that,
Yeah.
if there's a dreaminess to our bodies. Maybe that's what we're
Mm.
actually doing today, is like finding the dreams that our bodies most want right.
Oh,
Right?
Ooh.
Because like our brains can make up all kinds of things, and
yeah.
they're good too. It's not like we're shutting that stuff down, but that's what we're really looking for today, is like
Okay.
what are the dreams that our bodies most, and it can be
Yeah.
that you could do today in your house, or maybe it's something that will take a lot longer to achieve, but I want you to really be thinking with your body, if that's a thing, or listening to your body. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we might even need to start with, maybe we need to start with some like answer movement first or something, to before we
I gotta get a phone charger, Sarah. I didn't realize it was gonna be. I'll be right back.
do it. Maybe I'll look for a little. Hey, Sadie. We can still hear you, dear.
Sorry.
Can't see you, but we know you're
Quite
there.
all right.
Love it. Hmm.
Well, during this little break, I'm going to grab my notebook and a
All right,
pencil.
perfect. Deal. Okay, so we're back, and I want to put on this Nario song called Vessel, this is really the song that sort of clinched this. I don't know if you both know this, but I often go by this name. Vessel is kind of the name that I use sort of ceremonially. Um,
Vessel?
Vessel.
Oh,
Mhm.
cool.
Yep. And that name had sort of been percolating, and then someone chose this song specifically once to play, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is fine. But
And
clinched.
what is the song?
It's called Vessel by
Oh, no way. Wow.
Culinario. Yeah, so that's why I was sharing that. But yeah, it could be good to dance or move. And then after this song, I'm just going to put on some journaling. So if you want to move first and just like really tune into your body as you dance or move, and then go into some journaling, you have about, I don't know, 7 minutes or so, um, for both. So you can also just start journaling right away too if you feel that feels good. All right. Let's see.
Ever now and only you know the voice of your
Right.
own vessel.
I'll hear it.
Move as the body guides you to listen to your body. And my body is my choosing. I'll do as it tells me to. So please tend to your vessel. And I'll be listening to this body. All bodies are woven into one body of life together. So move as the body moves and you listen to the body. Each body has their choice. Each universe guiding us to deeper trust in each other. Here listening to this body. Holiest freedom is our choice to deeply listen to the inner voice. Holiest freedom is our choice. bodies are woven into one body of life together. So move as the body moves in you. Listen to the body, and each body has their choice. Each universe guiding us to deeper trust in each other. Here, listening to this body. North Star, guide us home. Compass from the heart. Show me all the whole of which I am part. North Star, guide us home. Compass from the heart. Show me all the whole of which I am part. North Star, guide us home. Compass from the heart. Show me all the whole of which I am part.
So beautiful. Right, I want to put on a journaling, just some more chill journaling music. And let's just take another 5 or I don't know, maybe longer, 5 to 7 minutes to just let whatever is coming through come through. What dreamy dreams would your body most love to experience? dears. Good stopping place, or do you need...
Yes.
Okay, great. Susan, you good, or do you need more time? Okay, great.
Can I ask what that last song was?
Let's see. It's called
If you have it.
Old Habits by Matthew Tirona. Oh wait, no, sorry, that wasn't it. It was called Buddha Dreamer by Cascading Oasis. Yeah, to Spotify. These lovely things to suggest. So I would love to, next I'd love to just kind of start workshopping these. So I would love to have whichever one of you is feeling brave and ready to go first, share some that came up, like what was bubbling up for you. And so I'd love to do two things in this. One is to hear, what's coming, and then also to really sense into what resistance might be coming up for you around these different dreams. Because that's really where the juice happens, It's like the reasons that we, push against our dreams or aren't available for them, that we can't really allow them to land, is because there's often these different layers of resistance that are in place. And I want to honor and acknowledge that resistance. It's there for a reason. And they can be some really fun, that can lead us to some really fun and dark and traumatic and grief. I mean, there's so many things in there. But yeah, taking time to really to feel into those resistances with the dreams, and to let's see how they dance together in each of us. Yeah. Who's feeling brave? Which one of you would love to feels like one first?
I really need the coaching here.
All right. You want to go first, Daniel?
No, but I'm gonna.
Oh, brave soul.
Yep.
Well, what's the worst that can happen, right?
Susan's here holding space. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, I think I alluded to this earlier. When you asked about, those moments of the dream, of like that moment of like pinching yourself, I had quite a list of them, but they're all pretty far in the past. And this dream I'm living now is clearly coming to some kind of transition. I don't know if I have to wake up and have another dream, or if this dream gets to transform into something that works better for me, more the happy dream we're talking about, rather than the bad dream. I mean, just as a waking world reality, I'm going to be moving sometime soon. I don't know when, but my landlords have made it really clear to me that I'm going to be moving sometime soon. And I'm just putting some effort into visualizing what that new thing looks like. And I'm not even sure if it's a good thing if that I'm so open to a wide range of possibilities. That sounds good, doesn't it? But in a way that it really gets in the way of me narrowing it down and focusing on what am I actually going to do. Because I mean, so far I've done very little. I put the word out that I'm looking for something, but I'm not even clear in my own mind what that something is. So it's very hard for other people to pick it out for me.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to hear a little bit about how you would like to feel in
Yes.
Situation.
Yes, that's the crux of it right there. Exactly.
So how do you want to feel in your body? Like, I know your brain like wants
yeah.
You're out. And this can be a really challenging exercise when it comes to like where you live, because our brains want to go to logistics and practical things immediately.
like money, yeah, things like that, right?
Exactly.
Um,
Let's let's set
feel.
all that aside.
Thank you. Yes,
To how your
let me
heart
get
really
there.
wants to feel in this living situation.
Well, to a large degree, I have it living right where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And the previous place I lived was a teepee in the woods, and really that gave me the feeling too of like sitting on the ground and living outdoors year round
Mm.
and experiencing the weather, whatever the weather happens to be, whichever way the wind is blowing. Um,
So that connection to the elements.
yes.
So how does that make you feel when you imagine living that way? What's the feeling in your body? And maybe you can even, not only name the feeling, but see if you can notice where in your body.
Well, somewhere around my heart, I can say that. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know the words for it. I'm tearing up.
Yeah, that's great. Just stay there.
Um,
Yeah, we're here with
it's
you.
just a feeling. If it has a name, I don't know what the name is, but
Yeah, that's
it just feels right. It feels correct.
yeah.
Um,
Stay aligned with
for me, not like I'm complying to somebody else's idea of what's correct, but what feels right here.
yeah,
Like yes, this is the way this human being
yeah.
wants to live.
Yeah, well, let's just take a breath into that. I can really feel your heart and yeah.
And of course, I feel like I moved away from that a little bit, and much closer to it than most people I know. But I still have moved toward suburbia. Uh,
Mm.
and moving back toward that lifestyle really sounds like a lovely fantasy, but I don't really want to do that. It seems a little bit impractical
Mm.
right now. Well, particularly today when it's like 10 degrees outside. But
Right?
uh,
Yeah,
uh, I mean, I'm 10 years older than I was when I lived like that.
yeah. There's this desire for a deep connection to nature every day.
Yes, yeah, literally a part of it. Not
Yeah,
like me and nature were connected,
yeah,
but like I'm a citizen of this forest along with all these trees. They're
yeah,
my fellow citizens.
yeah. So I want to invite you to let go for a minute of any strategies about this, about
That's easy. I don't have any. Okay.
great. So even if you like whether or not it's suburban or
Right.
how old you are, like all those things, like just keep letting go of that. Um, and I just want to invite you to see if there's another layer of feeling around this, because I can feel us going deeper into this together, especially as I said that thing about the deep connection to nature, because knowing you, I know that that's important to you. And so I just want to let your heart,
I'm sure. I'm not sure I know what it means, but it doesn't matter. It's still there.
it doesn't matter.
No.
It's really this yearning that I feel from you. So I want to just give that yearning some space and some love and acknowledgement of how it's coming from this deep part of your soul. And it's so pure. It's so Daniel.
feel like I need some kind of nudge here.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I'm there. I feel it,
Yeah. Great. I'm
and I
just
can sort of circle around it,
like,
but it's like there's something missing or something,
well,
some connection.
see if you can let yourself go even deeper into the longing and just let it be what it is, and recognize how much a part of you it is. 'Cause what I find is the deeper I can go into the longing, I can sort of let go of my strategies. The deeper I go down.
Yeah, I see what you mean. As I attempt to sink into it, all these voices are saying, but,
Yeah.
practical matters, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would love to spend some time too with the voices. One more breath with the longing here. Like just letting it be there.
I didn't know how strong that was.
Say it again.
I didn't know how strong that was.
The longing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so trustworthy, right? Like it's so you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a hanky.
Longing really is coming from this super deep part of you. I have no other intention for our time today. It's you even just feeling that today is huge.
It's like discovering something I already knew.
Yeah. Invitation is for you to really like root into it even more deeply. Just trust it that that's you're gonna be guided, like you're just naturally gonna gravitate towards what you need next.
I see that. To reach that place of pinching myself, is this really happening?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That has to be satisfied. Nothing less will get me there.
Yeah, yeah, really letting that longing be there. And if and I know you can go into the practical and the strategy.
Yeah. Well, as I said, all those voices are yammering at me about.
Exactly, because you feel there's pressure.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this might be one technique I like to use in situations like this is sometimes I have to dom the universe a little bit. I have to kind of tell the universe, hey, I have some practical shit that I got to figure out here. So I need you to help me figure this out. You need some concrete options soon.
Mhm.
So maybe we can feel into a demand that you have for the universe and give the universe a deadline. Like, I need a plan.
Gosh, Sarah, I never would have imagined that. It would never have come to my mind.
So it's two things. It's like grounding into this longing, because that longing and that heart and soul that you just tapped into Like that's where this all needs to be coming from. So it's like you kind of are doing two things. You're like rooting into the longing and then simultaneously telling the universe, this, I need information, I need a sign, I need an option, I need something concrete to show up in the next X number of days. And before we're done, I want to pick a timeline. And then you don't do anything in between, like in between the longing and the demand of the universe. The in between stuff of like, oh, should I do this and should I do that? And what about this? And oh, I'm going to worry about this all day and I'm going to ruminate and da-da. No, you don't do any of that shit because it just confuses the field. And it makes it much harder for the universe to work. You just keep coming into the longing of what you want, that deep place we just touched into, and how much you trust that. That hasn't changed about you in ever, right? I mean, that's
No,
just so you.
no. That's something I get to decide about even. It's just there.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And then telling the universe, you got to help me out here because that longing that you're tapping into, that's divine. Like the universe created that. So you will get signs and clear options depending on what you ask for. I mean, you got to make a very clear demand. Like you can't dom the universe gently. You can't just be like, well, maybe I want this or maybe I want that. It's not going to work. Oh, I can't tell if you're laughing or crying.
Me either. Both.
Oh,
Uh, I guess I have occasionally been mistaken for a dom. Maybe I took it on like an acting part.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
Mm-hmm. I need work, and this is the part available. So get into character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like this it's an inner posture with the universe
Mm-hmm.
saying,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I need, and I need it by such and such a time, and just expecting that it's going to show up.
Mm-hmm. And then you said, quit doing stuff.
Quit doing the stuff in between that. It's like when a boss gives you a job and then tries to micromanage you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no one likes that.
No. So you're saying the universe doesn't either?
The universe doesn't need to be micromanaged.
No, I suppose not.
But you need to be clear enough in your request that it's not like you can't say, I need fully formed housing. Well, you could say I need a fully formed housing. That's a level I'm not quite at yet. I usually choose a demand to the universe where I'm like, I just need either a sign that I'm going in the right direction or a sign of what direction I need to go in, or I need such and such problem solved by such and such a time, or I leave them pretty specific or pretty like where there's room for the universe to do its work,
Mm-hmm.
but where it really speaks to like what that yearning.
Well, that second one really resonates. What direction do I need to be heading?
Okay.
Because I mean, I'm stymied by having 12 or 15 directions simultaneously. I just can't make any progress at all that way.
Yeah.
I need a pointer, a signpost.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And when would you like that by?
I'm thinking March 15th would be good.
Oh God, pick something way sooner than that.
Way sooner. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
February 15th then.
Okay. 2 weeks Or no, that's longer than 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's longer.
Because, I mean, if I were you, I would want it like
Sooner.
sooner.
Okay. Okay. Well,
I mean,
February 1st.
God, you're so patient. I'm so not patient. Like, oh, let's get this shit. This is the universe we're talking about. Like, you,
It's a fascinating experiment you're proposing. It's totally new to me. Um,
I mean, you have to do your part of this, which you'd have to be fucking paying attention to, right? I mean, that's
yes, right,
that's
right.
why
Have to be open to
I,
what comes. Yes.
that's why I would never say March 15th because I'm like, I can't pay attention to this for that many months. That's
Uh-huh.
way too much
Uh-huh.
work. I could
Thank
pay
you.
attention next 2 or 3 days, like max,
Wow.
like, then I'll like drift off and get, back into my worry mode or whatever. God. Yeah, because during that time you're committing to really letting go of your habitual like ruminate, whatever you've been doing inwardly about this for however long.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
You're gonna put that on pause and you're just gonna be watching what the universe sends you and checking in. Like if I were you, I would do like a daily check-in with that feeling of what you really want in your living situation.
I better write these points down, Sarah,
Right,
because
right.
I
Yeah,
always think I'll remember because it makes so much sense when you're saying it.
yeah.
But
Well,
like
you're gonna
by
have the.
tomorrow, I'll be. What did she say?
I'm gonna send you the recording. So if you
Oh,
need to
good.
go back and watch this part, you can.
I may need to.
Yeah. Okay, so this February. Well, I still think you might be coming up with the. I think you might be thinking too much about this Dom
You're
request.
probably right. Yes.
So what does your body want? Like think what would feel good? Like think about how long you've been unclear about this and struggling and how good it would feel to have. Well, let's do that experiment for a minute. Like imagine yourself having clarity,
I
maybe
got it.
not about
Right.
the.
It's come along. I like it.
Yeah.
It's yeah. It's
And
like a
you're like,
problem solved. Yeah.
well, maybe it's not the entire problem solved, but it's at least like a direction to take and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where you have clarity in your heart and mind about where you need to go next. Maybe it's a physical location, maybe it's a lifestyle situation, maybe it's a community, maybe it's, people you're living with. I mean, who knows? It could be so many different things. But just imagine yourself, like maybe close your eyes and just let yourself have that feeling for a second of like, imagine if you had clarity about where you were going to live,
Wow. What a relief.
right?
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So where do you feel that relief in your body?
In my in my gut. Oh
Just take
gosh.
another breath into that relief and let yourself have that for another moment.
Oh, my shoulders feel so much lighter.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Again, you're putting me in touch with stuff that I kind of knew on some level and wasn't very present to.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a weight on my shoulders, but I just go along pretending there isn't.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like I can do this.
Yep. So your universe, Daniel would like clarity by such and such a time on living direction.
Okay. How about next Tuesday?
Great. And I want you to say it. So just maybe take a minute, let it all settle. And Susan and I would like to witness your doming the universe here of what it is you need.
That cracks me up. Oh, oh, oh. Okay.
I love the little sounds you made. That's great.
Okay, universe, I need something from you.
Yep.
I need a direction. I need to know which way I'm to head next. And I need it by next Tuesday.
Great. That's a
And
great start, except I need you to do it again with energy that I actually am convinced that you're the Dom of the universe. Yeah, you might be a little pissed. You can be a little pissed. You can be like, you know what? It's been so long. Like, come on already. Like, I want you to have that like impatient, like it put a little feeling into it. Like you're being way too reasonable.
yeah, I do that. Okay, universe,
Yeah.
look, by next Tuesday, if not sooner, a direction, a clear direction. What's next?
Yes. Ooh, I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it. Do you feel it, Susan? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I'm
Well,
just making
that
my
was me playing a stage part, but still, it sounded good, didn't it?
yeah. How does that feel in your body right now?
Kind of cool. I
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
fun, right?
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh, I would love to have that too.
Right? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I want that for you.
Oh, that would make such a difference.
Ooh, right? Susan and
Oh
I
man.
both, right, Susan?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yes, let's just get this already.
Daniel.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. In fact, another even more powerful alchemical thing is kind of what you're already doing. Like, imagine you already have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
It's done. You get to
Yeah.
report
So
back
like,
to us that you're like,
so
guess
being in
what?
a place of gratitude for the universe having come through and given me what I asked for on schedule.
By next Tuesday.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Right.
Good job, universe.
Good job, Daniel.
Yay. Hmm. I can feel the ease in my body around it too. Of like,
Yeah.
hey, goodness.
Thanks.
Right. Does that feel like a good place to pause? I want to be sure we have a little time for Susan too here.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've brought you, the universe has granted your wish, we can move
Yes.
on.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Not your
Yep. I'm
wish.
there.
It's a demand. It's not a
My
wish.
demand. Right. My demand.
Yeah. Yeah. Moments like that, when you've really been struggling with something for a while, it's like, fuck that. Like, come on. Like, I'm done with this. Like, let's old pattern, like, can we move
Mm-hmm.
on already? So yeah. I feel like you're ready. I mean, hearing that when you were able to bring that energy and I'm like, okay, I think he's ready for the next thing here. Yeah. Oh good.
Wow. Thanks.
Yeah, how about if we do a little sparkly fingers celebration for you there, you know? Yes. Whee! Sending it out. I don't know, it just feels like a little party. Yeah. Okay. Susan, you're over there looking like a little kid. I can't wait to see what you got.
Well, I hope I'll just say that when I was looking at doing the forest training school with Sarah, I sent her a text that said, "Sarah, I'm concerned that I maybe, have passed my expiration date for this kind of training because I'm 56 years old." And one of the things that I've loved most in this lifetime in this body has been like at Sarah's training in the Northern California woods here, where I got to climb a tree naked and go tell the plants and our flowers and everything I love them. And Sarah was like, no, you're in your prime, like there's a guy named Daniel who's like totally in this. And I was like, yay. It just, I mean, and when you went into that place of what it seemed like when you went into this deep resonance of your heart, I started crying. It is so beautiful. And the magnificence of your spirit that lives wherever you went to inside of that place, just I have the chills. And it was so moving. I mean, it was just like the spirit that lives inside of you that is longing for that nature piece is just it was so touching and moving to my core, to my heart intelligence, that I was just, like building things in my mind and trying to, like, come on, universe, like, let's do this. So thank you for that profound gift of being able to witness your heart, or being able to sense and feel your heart, because it helps me feel my own.
Exactly. Yes.
And I'm just like so inspired by who you're being in just the brief time that I've been in your, so I call it soul essence resonance. Just, yeah, thank you. And I will be putting that on my Dom the Universe wish list for you for clear, poignant, direct sensing of where it's going to feel the most nourishing for you to inhabit physically.
Yeah. Yeah. Really wanting this next phase to be deeply aligned. I mean, I know it will be deeply aligned with that longing that you have. Yeah. Another thing I was really appreciating about it is that how that longing that Daniel was expressing, like I think all three of us share that.
Oh,
And so Daniel, by you really letting yourself feel it, like it's serving all of us.
mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's really good to be seen.
So, Susan, we've got like 20 minutes or so left, and I want to.
Yeah. No, mine is I think Sarah, because I've had that experience with you. Mine is that it feels like a very similar longing, in the sense that I mean, I've got a space here in the woods, which I absolutely love. And it's this place of being able to embody this deep sense of soul essence and love, because um, when I'm feeling into my heart, it feels like it has a feeling of doming the universe, not in a way of like power over, but essence expressed through. And I've had experiences in this body where when I'm in this heart, when I'm in that heart, which feels resonant, at least from outside in, to what it is that you felt into, that made me just tear up. My whole body was just um, profoundly struck by the depth to which you were able to touch into when you would just look down. I could just feel this. And it was like, I know that's there inside of me, and I cover it up because, in this lifetime, in this body, I got programming of I'm bad, and a lot of different programs that I'm going to keep declaring outdated, but still run in my field. And my greatest dream, I guess, is to, like Sarah said, I get very in my head about all these things out there, and da, 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 and then she'll be like, Susan, hi, hello, yoo-hoo, come back in your body. which is hard for me because when I come back in my body, it's this feeling of like it's the word is repulsive to myself. And so that, that's still a program that runs. And so being able to feel other people's hearts, it lets me feel safe to express mine from this deep place and all these sensitivities I have, because it's a blessing and a curse, that I'm able to feel into these places. But then, when all the programs come in, so my deepest longing is to like feel safe to express myself as this body wants to, because I'm so in my head that, and it looks, like I think I'm very generous and very giving and very inspired by wanting to support others in their dreams. And it really is coming back home to this body, because it's not really all that profoundly um, large. It's really those simple things of just being in nature and like being able to not feel the programming of it, that I'm so bad and broken.
Oh, Susan, yeah, I love this tender place, and I know this place in you. So
Yes.
yeah, just
Yes, you do. My
do.
little girl.
I've got a like jumping off place for us here. Yes, I just want to pause you there and let the feeling land. Yeah, and be with this Susan that wants to sing to the grass. Yeah.
That's a memory I've had in this lifetime, Daniel, that when I was a little girl, I used to sing to the blades of grass because I didn't want them to be lonely.
Hmm.
And I forgot that. I forgot that. I forgot that.
Yeah.
So I have a question for this little one, the
Yeah.
grass singer. Yeah,
Yeah.
about what she needs to feel safe right now. Like maybe not in this, I mean, it could be in this exact moment, just in life in general. Like, I would love for your dream that you're walking away with today to be about helping her to feel a little more safe. It's probably something really simple. Like, what does she need?
Well, it's really just this. I mean, it's like this resonance that like I'm in my room right now, right? I'm in a place that's not, it's my own energy. And sometimes what happens with me is that I'm so sensitive, I take on all these energies that aren't mine, and I think they're mine, and I try and process them through this body, and I'm going like, so right now it's like this. So it's just it's this ability to just go into that vulnerable space inside of myself and um just kind of like check out the world. And Sarah, Daniel, I've just been working with Sarah since September, since her retreat here. And, I've had, I say my tagline is that I've had so much therapy, it's probably illegal, but um, in the embodiment of these things and like being able to have a voice to that sensitive heart place that feels so vulnerable and so lost and isolated and alone, that is not the case. But it's like just having this space with you all and being in that vulnerability and exposing that level of profound love that I have for myself, I'm working on, but like it's easier to do it for other because of that. So it's just this space has really been so so nourishing. Like the just this 30 seconds or 20 seconds that you went into that heart space, Daniel, was so moving. It was like he remembers his spirit. You go into some of these places. My mom's in an assisted living right now, and I want to, like, part of me wants to scream like, "You're a spirit. You're fine. Everyone's good." And then it's like, "Okay, turn it back, Susan." Like, "Hello." So I'm just appreciating the space really right now, and I'm looking for ways in which I can just embody this and have my space, so that I'm not taking on other energies thinking they're mine and then going, "Oh my God, what the hell? Where did I go?"
let's
So does that make sense?
try a little experiment with this right
Okay.
now. Yeah. Yeah. Just being in your space and connected with us. Like, let's be in this heart space together. And let that little girl see if she can just feel safe with us for a few minutes. And just let herself feel safe. And we don't need to, maybe I'll set a timer or something and we'll just like not talk for like a minute and just see if you can let her feel she feels safe with us. And
I
she,
do.
great. So
I'm not talking.
let's just be in it together and see on a somatic level, like what it feels like. I don't know if I even need, but yeah. No, I do want to set a timer. I just feel like there's something about the container of a timer that's gonna like help us to go deep in like a minute. So yeah, let's do that little experiment. I'll set the timer, we'll go a minute and just see if you can, Susan, just let your body notice how it feels to be in safe connection with me and you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything. You don't have to say anything. Just see if you can let that sense of safety in there. So, well, there is our minute, but I don't want it to be over. It feels really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm so grateful.
No, this isn't the sexiest dream, although I might have a story to share about this. Um, but I see the dream that maybe that little girl needs and that maybe your body needs is to just feel safe being with others, period. Maybe even safe in your own body. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It's like that little sprig, we talked about Sarah, that's like so hopeful with this work. It feels so hopeful that there's like people that are, but that it's like that I can kind of start to embody this place that just wants to live like, live wild and free and not, not, I do it to myself, take on all the other energy, just live in this energy with the love that she's got and the love that she wants to embody and just feel safe, yeah. And seen.
Yeah. So
Because that's, like that's the space that feels like it's able to, when it feels embodied, that's when that's when the erotic or whatever the energies want to embody from there. But it's like I haven't been able to access that until your work. So,
Yeah, because you just didn't feel safe. Like, I so get it. Yeah.
well, I mean, I feel safe in therapy, but it's like embodying that sense of like just being able to be in a place of that and moving that energy. It's like I coast, from this place to this place so quickly, and then I'm up in my head, and then Sarah's like, "Hello,
It's safe here. You can
hello."
just be with us.
Yeah, and it's and that's enough, and that's just enough.
Yeah, you don't have to work
Thank you.
and you don't have to be like pulling in all of the things all the time. Like, it's enough to just be here with us and yeah, listen to the grass if you want. I'm just gonna keep coming back to that because I love it so much. I think I want to use that as your North Star. I mean, for me, it feels like a North Star with you, because it's kind of like Daniel's, like, I just trust the longing that comes from in you.
Uh-huh. It does. It feels so raw and tender and just, yeah, it feels very vulnerable, but very pure and very just it just, it's like it says it sounds simple, but it ain't easy because it's like all the stuff that I've gone through in terms of like being able to feel safe embodying that because it's like I you know, it, I have a very childlike energy, it's like it's a little uncontained sometimes, but it gets into trouble too,
I love these childlike energies.
Yes.
But then, it's like I create these things. I go and create things. I'm a master at creation and manifesting. But then it's like I haven't taken care of that little seed, and then I get, like enraged because people aren't seeing the thing that I'm supposed to be that in contact with, creating from that place of alignment versus out here. So it's like, but I just feel the resonance, and I'm so like I feel like I was telling Sarah earlier, Daniel, that in this physical being with the dis-ease, it's like this work here feels like such salvation to my soul that it's something that I come more in alignment with that soul resonance inside me, and it feels like an alignment that will create more coherence so that I'm a lot less in pain
Well,
physically.
before we wrap up here, I want to just ask this our grass singer or the sprout in there if there's something really small, really simple that she needs either in your immediate environment or in your day or in your week or in your social circle. Like, what would help her to have that embodied sense of safety soon? And I'm just thinking something small, like, a cup of tea, or like going and singing to the grass sometime soon, or not that there's much grass happening in the middle of winter, but like singing to a plant, like just something small that would really help bring this into your, like, that. I'm wanting you to like develop this like safety practice, of really tending to that need for safety on this tiny scale. Like, maybe, like, here on my desk I have this, like, my favorite house plant, right? This rattlesnake plant, and it's like having it here on my desk, like, it feels like gives me a sense of safety. And I've even like these guys in my room and stuff, like, there's something about the plants that help me feel safe. So I'm just wondering if there's something for you that could help to like bring this into your daily life even more.
Yes. I just thought of an idea actually,
Right.
and I want to respect your time, both your time, is that I'm going to go get myself a plant today and I'm going to call it the forgiveness plant.
Oh, love that. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to and then I'm going to get uh a stuffed animal too.
Okay. Great.
So that's what I'll do.
Yay. That sounds like perfect things to help really. Yeah, those are, and they're so dreamy. Like that's the dreamy, like that's the
Yes,
dreamy
the plant
energy.
will be my friend, and it will listen to all my stories, and it will compost ones, and it will grow new leaves with other stuff. So thank you both. I'm really profoundly grateful for the space. It's so really very healing. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So beautiful. Thank you both
Yes.
for your beautiful vulnerability. And Susan, I can't wait to see the stuffed animal and the plant maybe on screen sometime. You can share it with us. Because, yeah,
I
that
will.
this dream of safety, right? Like that's, and really just reminding your body that it is here. And that
Well, it's
really,
me embodying. It's really me learning how to that the level of sensitivity that I have is a I don't want to say a blessing and a curse, but it is because I can feel so much in the space and I can always sense, out there, but it's like, no, staying in here from there and having that, embodying that myself so that I can be genuinely and consistently in my own vibration so that I can be a space of love for myself so that I can be consistent rather than up and down like a roller coaster, and then, it's like,
yeah,
so yeah.
yeah, totally. I want to share one little tidbit about safety recently. That's just, this is another reason, Susan, you and I are soul sisters, but I've been really excavating my core desires, like erotically, and like what I'm really wanting in different experiences. And I've had all these different, wild erotic experiences. But I just realized lately that the thing that ties them all together is my need and deep desire for safety. So it's so important to tend to this. And can take so many different shapes, right? Like in terms of what you might need and want. But for now, the plant and the stuffed animal feel yes.
Well, uh, just the space that you offered in Northern California when I had to like really check out the ability to say no because I genuinely want to make everyone's dreams come true around her. Like I just have this, I really do. It's not like from a place of like, self-victimization, but it's like so fun to see these things manifest. And I do it without attachment. And it's the piece that I just mentioned that I just lost. Oh, the ability to to trust that someone will be okay. And this is BS, I know it, but like, are you going to be okay if I say no? Because I, want to help everybody. It's like trusting that no and saying like, hey, you're going to be okay if I set a boundary and say no.
Love that. So I want to end with by teaching you all this little fun gesture that I just learned from a friend. Well, my friend Summer just invented this. Um,
Cool.
and I feel like it sort of ties together a lot of the things that we talked about. And it could be like something that y'all could use and play with. Like, Daniel, as you're doming the universe, Susan, as you're like cultivating this inner sense of safety. So it's you take two fingers and you just kind of go like that. And Summer had first invented this as a way to like bless someone or something that's happening out in the universe. So it'd be like, you know, kind of, yeah. You could also do it to yourself probably, but more it's like something that's happening out in the world. So Summer brought this up at an event and we're like, so does that mean if someone sneezes, we should do that? And so sure enough, a few minutes later, someone sneezed and we all like to the person.
I love it.
But I feel like it's a little bit like kind of snarky, like talk to the hand or something like that.
Oh,
But it's also sort of there's a I don't know, there's like some sort of power in it. So Daniel, I feel like it applies to your like doming the universe because it's like, come on, universe, like get your shit together. You have till next Tuesday. And like I feel like Susan, it really pulls in your safety thing because it's like anything that's not safe, it's like you can just be like, okay, I'm just gonna keep that over there and I'm gonna be over here.
well,
So
it's like also the extension, like there's this heart, and I don't know the specifics, but it's like the heart resonance has like a 6 foot field or something around you. I don't know, but it's like holding this space as my own and then blessing from like a blessing that, well, I'm going to go back to Daniel's I am God because I am that, but then I also sound like, wow, you're pretty egotistical there, Susan, but it's like, no, really, the heart really just wants to bless all of this stuff. So it's like clear space and also just like, hey, shine on, universe, like shine on this beautiful being named Daniel, named Sarah, named Susan, so
yep, yep.
I like that
Y'all
too.
can
But
take that with you out from your in making our dreams come true. We can work that in. Maybe that's like our little magical, making dreams come true kind of thing.
I love it.
Yeah. So
It's okay.
have a little
The
gesture.
secret forest fairy handshake.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Forest fairy, like the secret group greeting or something.
Yes. Mhm.
Shine on.
Love it. Oh, all right, dears. Well, with that, I'd love to send you all off with these juicy, your beautiful, tender, juicy hearts today. Thank you so, so much for being with me and sharing so vulnerably and sharing your journeys and holding each other. Really beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. So nice to be in presence with you, and may the universe show you direct, clear signals of your most
That's our goodbye.
path.
Goodbye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Susan.
Sarah. Much love.
Lovely to get to know you.
Aw. All right, dears. Well, I'll see you on both on April 1st, if not sooner, on some other, something or other before then. I'm sure I'll have some event in February and some in March, but we'll definitely be together again on April 1st. And anyone else who's, we're still collecting the rest of the circle. So I'm trusting that they are finding their way to us, like through this
Are,
video or whatever else, however else they find us.
are you wanting people to come to?
Yeah, we still have room for another like half a dozen people.
Oh,
So,
okay. All right.
yep.
Okay.
So yeah, send them on. Send them
Okay,
on.
will do.
All right, dears. Mwah.
Much love. Thank you.
Bye, dear.
Bye-bye.